Hello friends, in this video we are going to learn input and output functions of Python programming. If there is a program, it should interact with the user. What I mean, if I want to add certain values, the program should ask me the values to add it. Then the program will generate the desired output. In Python, this can be done by using the input and output functions. The function input, it helps us to enter the data by the user at the runtime. Then the function print, it is used to display the result of the program after the execution. Let us work with print function first.
Here we can see 4 different ways to work with print function. The first version, print string to be displayed as output. Here print is a keyword and within the double quotes we have given string to be displayed as output. That is, whatever the string we are giving inside this double quotes which will be displayed in the output screen. Then print variable or expression. So by using this print function, value of an variable or the result of an expression will be displayed in the output screen. Then print string to be displayed and variable or expression. In this format of print function, we can display both string and value of a variable or expression. Then in this print function, we can display a number of strings and variables as we need. Here, comma is used as the separator. We'll see some example using print function now. So first, I'm going to enter print function to display a string. Welcome to Python. So here we got our result with a string welcome to Python. Then I'm going to display the result of a variable. So before that I'm going to initialize some variables with a value a equal to 100, b equal to 200 and c equal to a plus b. Then I'm going to display the value of a variable c. So I'm entering the print command with the variable c. So here it displays the answer 300, which is the value of the variable c. Then I'm going to use both a single string and a single variable. So I'm entering the data print sum equal to c. So here it displays both string and a value of a variable. So here the sum is equal to is the string and 300 is the value of a variable c. Then I am going to use a combination of strings and variables. So I am entering print the sum of a and b is equal to, here I am not going to use the variable, instead directly I am going to enter a expression here. As we saw in the syntax, we can use both variable and expression. So I am entering the expression here. So here we got the result with the string the sum of, and 100 is the value of a variable a and is the string again, and 200 is the value of the variable b and is equal to is the string again, and we got the result 300 is the result of the expression a plus b. Next we are going to work with input functions. As I said earlier, this helps us to enter the data at runtime, which means in the output screen it accepts the data we giving. The general syntax of the input function is variable equal to input within the double quotes prompt string. Here prompt string is nothing but message going to be displayed in the output screen to the user before accepting the data. Let us see some example using input functions. In our previous example, we have given the data to the variable directly in the program itself. Now we are going to accept the values to the variable at the runtime. The benefit of using this input function, we can enter different input values at each time for the same program, so that we will be getting desired output for the desired input values. Here I have given x equal to int input enter value 1, y equal to int input enter value 2, which means the input value will accept the data at the runtime. So whatever the data accepted by the input value will be a string by default. So we are converting that a string as an integer type of value by using this int function. So I have used the int function here. Then we are going to add the variables x and y. So I'm entering the data x is equal to x plus y. Then I'm going to display the value of the variable z. So I'm entering print the sum equal to z. We'll execute this. Before that, we are saving that function. So here it is asking enter value 1. Here I'm entering a value 100. Then it is asking enter value 2. Now I'm entering the second value 200. Finally, we got our answer here, that is the sum equal to 300, which means the value 100 will be stored into the variable x, and I have given 200 that will be stored into the variable y, and finally we got our answer 300. The 300 will be in the variable z. In the previous example, we have used two lines of input statements. Instead, here I have used a single line of statement to do the same job. Here it is asking enter value 1. So I am entering the first value 10. Then I am entering second value 20. So here we got the result. The sum is equal to 30.
Then the next thing we are going to see, comments in Python. Comments are nothing but the statements in program, only for the user understanding purpose, which will not be executed. In Python, the symbol hash is used to define the comments. The statements which begins with this hash symbol will be considered as the comment line by the Python interpreter, so it will not be executed.
Let us see an example for comment line. Here we already have an example program. In this program, in first line, we have used the input function to accept the data at runtime. So the same I am going to use as the command. To add the command, we need to use the symbol hash followed by the command accepting data at runtime. As we saw already, the commands we use in the program which will not be executed. We'll check it by executing. So as you can see here, it is asking for first value. So I'm entering the first value. Then I'm entering the second value. Then finally we got our answer without displaying the comment line, which means the comment line we given in the program, it does not execute it.
Then we are going to see a very simple but a very important topic in Python programming, that is indentation. Indentation is nothing but defining program blocks with spaces and tabs. In C, C++, Java and all will be using curly braces to enclose a block of code such as functions and classes. In case of Python programming, the block of code is defined by using the number of white spaces. Here, the number of white spaces are not fixed, but within the block, the statement must be have indented with the same amount of white spaces.